we all wanted to make a difference and to help others, and we were deciding what we could do. And I believe it was Joff who said to Darren that he should write a book about this because he's done one before about cancer. So we all agreed, and that's what led us to this today. So.
We want to put people's stories out there, and we want the people to give their stories to us with their name attached to it, because we can't really break the stigma without having the people's names to it. And we want other people to know out there that these stories are going to give them so much hope that you can get through it. There's people out there, resources out there like Colin at Canadian Mental Health, be a great resource for for starters. And the fact that too many people live in this in silence and suffer in silence, and it's you can be strong on the outside, but when you go home and live with your thoughts at the end of the day, and they're always negative thoughts, and life sucks or whatever it is, it's not fair. There's so much out there for people to do, and that's why we hope this book will be a great resource for them.
Well, the day-to-day battle is all stigma. And what is so hard for people to come forward is to say they're ill or to look for help because of the fact that they might face judgments. The agency that I work with, Weyburn Group Home Society, we're just opening a new project called Dominic's, and it's got 14 suites, and it's going to be direct care for people that are facing these challenges. And it's a supportive model. It's a recovery model, where we're working in coordination with your nurse and your addictions counselor or whatever you need for support, we're there, and it's on site.
For myself, we've had lots of family members who have suffered from various mental illness, and we have also lost lives to it. And so that's affected me very personally, and also my own struggles over the years, on different occasions. I don't struggle with it day to day like some people do, but it is a very personal thing for myself and my family.
Well, I'm going to go back to December 2nd, 2002, one day before my 34th birthday, when I woke up knowing that this day I was going to take my own life, actually. I struggled with a gambling addiction in silence for 2 years before that. And then my life just came to a crashing halt, and I was done. I was just done, completely done. And for the grace of God, I didn't do it. I couldn't do it. It's 3 hours and just pure hell, if you will. And then finally I pulled myself together, and 8 months later I was diagnosed with acute leukemia after that, and went through 2 years of that. So I think actually the leukemia was the thing that kind of healed my depression, because rather than praying to die like I did every day for almost a year and a half, I was praying to live. And then when having that going through something like cancer right after that, just gave me a whole new focus, a whole new shift. And that's why I published my book in 2010, because I wanted other people to talk about cancer that were young adults. And now my whole life focuses on just life's short. Let's live it to the fullest. Let's don't sit there and wait for things to happen, and reach out when you need help, because you're not being a burden to anybody. They'd rather have you reach out than not do it at all. So this book is going to be so fantastic, and the resources that'll be linked to it, and the help and the hope it's going to give. So that's why my whole life is give back mode, and hopefully I have another 50 years of doing that. But for right now, I live today for giving back for the betterment of other people.
Colin, I imagine Darren's story resonates with you. Your family personally touched as well as we.
Oh, yeah. And I know Red my whole life. We're like brothers, so I know a lot of those battles, and I love that he's here today. So, very hard.
The folks in the Newburgers have been neighbors on Hartney Bay my parents moved out this weekend. They were there for 44 years, and Ben and Sylvia have been there for over 50. So we got to know them right from the age of 4. Colin was born, and our sports was our whole life, and Perry, his brother Perry, was like our other little brother, and very tragically Perry took his own life, and it just rocked our whole world and stuff. So it's every day it's a struggle. I think about that guy every single day. So he was always center of attention. He knew a stat in sports like no one else, and he'd like to talk about sports, and he loved his friends, and he loved the golf, and he loved his family, he loved his kids. But you don't ever we can't see what's inside. We only see what's happening on the outside. And there's a great book that I have read by a lady named Mel Robbins called Stop Saying You're Fine, because we always say, I'm fine, I'm good, But when you go home and, like I say, you have those thoughts that no one else can see what's happening inside, it's heartbreaking that we can't just let people know. And Colin's right, it's a stigma that, if you're weak if you do that. It's not a weakness, it's an illness. And there's a big difference there. So that's why, I wish to God that Perry would have reached out to me, because I went through the same thing. And I'm not saying that I'm stronger than him, because I think that Perry I love that guy with my whole heart. And you know, if I could have been there and helped them, maybe it would have helped, maybe not. I don't know.
Which
right?
you guys are now.
Yeah, we
You
sure
are
are.
now.
Yeah.